G'day chaps, here we are. I just thought I'd show you a very little bit of my empire because I'm very, very proud of this, and I'll explain the whole path of how I've built my empire. So here we go. I started as Kyoto and maybe 3 or 4 other provinces, and then first took over all of Japan. I should mention, by the way, before I start rambling on, that I'm going to ask for your help in this video. I've basically played enough of EU4, and I'm looking for a new strategy game, so I'm going to need your help in the comments. If you can tell me another kind of game that I can play in the evening, if I want to relax, Total War kind of game, or I love Banished, I love Cities Skylines, Skyline, yeah, that kind of game. If you can give me some suggestions, I would really, really appreciate it, because I'm looking for a new strategy game to get into, to play for myself. My personal game, right. This is pretty big, isn't it? This is as far as I've got as Japan in my local area, so there's more. So I've taken over, obviously, all of Manchuria. I took a chunk of Siberia. Also making my way down and taking over the Philippines. I've already done Taiwan. Taken a little chunk of that bit there. All of Korea, completely Japanese. And I'm slowly grinding down these states here. If you've never played EU4, then you're not really going to be quite as sure, but in EU4 you can't just expand without stopping like you can in Rome 2. You have to go piecemeal, because every time you expand, it creates instability for your empire, so you have to stop and wait and fix all the issues. Obviously I've taken over pretty much the entire ocean, so I've focused all my research and resources on expansion, colonization, and have slowly expanded across all of it. I've taken over all of Australia pretty much, apart from this bit, which is owned by Portugal. And I actually have New Zealand as well. They're allies, but they've rebelled, so I'm going to have to go and help them out. They've become, what are they called? They're a subject state, so they're semi-independent, but I still need to go and help them sometimes, like when they screw up. Okay, further afield, Hawaii is my big base, and I made my way across the bottom here, made it over to South America, and then I began to expand upwards. So I took all of this, and this is all through conquest. So I took over the native states, and I fought a war with Portugal, and actually I took all of this, all of the top of South America, and then it declared independence from me, and then there was a rebellion, so they created their own state of Colombia, so I'm going to have to take those guys back. Mexico, I had almost all of this, and then it became independent, and then Spain went to war with them and took most of it back. So, North America, kind of piecemeal. I've not really tried to take it properly. I fought a war, actually, with Portugal and Mexico. Sorry, Portugal and Spain. Both of them, and I won. I fought Spain to a standstill, and then I actually went and I invaded Portugal. I took over Portugal, ground them into a pulp, and made them give up all of their foreign possessions. So the Azores are actually owned by me, Japanese, which gives me a strong base against Europe. I've also got the coast of Africa, and these islands here, also South Africa, and the north of Madagascar. So again, being threatened by Portugal there. And these islands here. So I've basically got a world empire. I can traverse the entire world. I've stopped playing because I kind of had enough. When your empire gets this big, it becomes very much about management. And yeah, I love the grand strategy, and I have an idea of what I would do next. I would Japan has an option to westernize, which means that you go through a period of instability, and then your technological level can catch up with that of Europe. Because the biggest problem I have right now is that Europe is ahead of me in technology. So if I go to war with them, my numbers are better in terms of I have bigger armies, but they can still beat me. But I just don't have the patience. I think I've pretty much had enough. I've done what I set out to do. I've created a vast Japanese empire just for fun. I've taken over most of Australia and a chunk of South America, and I've got footholds all around the world, and I guess I could choose what I wanted to do next. I wouldn't really bother with Asia. Yeah, I'd be curious to take over North or South America properly. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I would take on Asia, try and take over all of Asia. But yeah, I've had enough, I'm done. So yeah, if you could help me out, it would be really, really good. I'm looking for another game that I can play on my own time. Something where I can set the pace. Like this, where I can pause it or go slow, or just, that kind of slow, relaxing, paced game. Yeah, so if you could help me out, I'd really appreciate it, boys. I hope you've enjoyed this very brief little look at the empire I've spent weeks and weeks and weeks building. Yeah. And that's it. Ciao for now. See you in the next one.